Imagine stepping back in time to 1980. The world is a different place. No internet in our pockets, no music on demand. In a small garage in Cupertino, California, a company with a rainbow-colored bitten Apple logo has just gone public. It's called Apple Computer. Now, imagine you have $1,000, a significant amount of money back then. You could buy a used car or put a down payment on something safe, but instead, you decide to take a chance. You invest that $1,000 into this new, unproven computer company. Your friends might have called you crazy. Tech was a niche market, a hobby for enthusiasts. The established giants like IBM dominated the landscape. For years, your investment would have felt like a mistake. The stock would climb, then crash. The charismatic founder, Steve Jobs, was famously forced out. The company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy. Pundits and experts wrote Apple's obituary time and time again. Holding on to that stock would have taken more than just patience. It would have required an almost irrational belief in a future that no one else could see. It would have required conviction. This is the story of that conviction. It's not just about Apple's incredible comeback. It's about a fundamental principle of wealth creation that most people overlook. Patience beats timing. Everyone dreams of timing the market perfectly, buying at the absolute bottom and selling at the peak. But history shows us that this is nearly impossible. The real magic happens not in the frantic buying and selling, but in the quiet, resolute act of holding on. Let's fast forward through the 90s. Apple was struggling. Their product line was confusing. Their market share was dwindling. That initial $1,000 investment, it wouldn't have looked very impressive. In 1997, things were so dire that their rival, Microsoft, had to invest $150 million just to keep them afloat. This was the moment of maximum doubt. This was the point where almost everyone would have sold, probably at a loss, and walked away, relieved to be done with the roller coaster. But then something shifted. Steve Jobs returned. With his return came a renewed focus, a ruthless dedication to simplicity and design. First, the iMac, a colorful all-in-one computer that changed the perception of what a PC could be. It was a statement. Apple wasn't just surviving, it was innovating again. Your small stake in the company would have started to recover, but the real earthquake was yet to come. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod. It wasn't the first digital music player, but it was the one that got it right. 1,000 songs in your pocket. It was a revolution. Suddenly, Apple wasn't just a computer company anymore. It was a consumer electronics powerhouse. The stock began to climb steadily at first, then with gathering speed. That $1,000 from 1980 was starting to look like a very, very smart decision. Those who held on through the dark years were now being rewarded. But the story was far from over. The temptation to sell would have been immense. I've doubled my money, you might think, or tripled it. I should cash out before it crashes again. This is the second great test for an investor, overcoming the fear of losing your gains. It's here that another principle comes into play. Conviction creates wealth. It's the belief that the company's vision is bigger than its last hit product. And Apple's vision was bigger. In 2007, Steve Jobs walked on stage and introduced a device that would redefine the 21st century. The iPhone. It was an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator all in one. The world was skeptical at first. Competitors scoffed, but the public understood. This wasn't just a new product, it was a new paradigm. This is where our story turns from a great investment into a life-changing one. The iPhone's success, followed by the App Store, the iPad, the Apple Watch, and a universe of services, sent Apple's value into the stratosphere. That $1,000, which had weathered storms, ridicule, and near collapse, began to multiply in ways that seem like a fantasy. Let's do the math. accounting for all the stock splits over the years. That initial investment of about 45 shares in 1980 would have grown to over 25,000 shares today. And that $1,000? It would have transformed into a fortune worth over $4.5 million. Let that sink in. Not from clever trading, not from risky bets, but from one single decision fortified by decades of doing absolutely nothing. This isn't just a story about Apple. It's a parable about the power of long-term thinking in a world obsessed with short-term results. It teaches us that the most valuable asset an investor can have is not a complex algorithm or insider information, but the simple, unwavering patience to let a great company grow. It's about understanding that true wealth isn't built overnight. It's cultivated over a lifetime, through periods of doubt and uncertainty. The financial news screams at us every day, urging us to react, to trade, to time the market. This isn't financial advice, but the story of the $1,000 Apple investment whispers a different, more powerful truth. Find something you believe in, invest in it, and have the courage to hold on. The greatest returns often go not to the most active, but to the most patient. Conviction, not calculation, is what turns a small seed of capital into a mighty tree of wealth. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that explores the deeper lessons behind business and finance. We'd love to have you as part of our community. See you in the next video.